America, a land known for opportunity and freedom, is also deeply divided when it comes to politics. Donald Trump has a massive following, but there are some states where his name is met with sharp criticism and resistance. In this video, we are diving into 10 U.S. states that strongly oppose Trump, not just through votes, but through protests, policies, and public sentiment. These states have made it clear that Trump's vision for America doesn't align with theirs. Let's uncover what makes these places stand out and why they continue to resist. Number 10. Washington. Washington State, with cities like Seattle, is known for its progressive values, strong environmental stance, and tech-driven culture. When Trump withdrew from the Paris Climate Accord, Washington led a coalition of states to stick with the goals anyway, showing strong environmental leadership. The state also saw huge protests over immigration bans and racial justice issues, with residents actively challenging federal policies. Washington's commitment to equality, sustainability, and inclusivity places it firmly against Trump's approach. Number 9. Massachusetts. Massachusetts has long been a center for liberal ideals, education, and healthcare reform, consistently voting blue in major elections. Home to prestigious universities and a deeply democratic voter base, the state often clashed with Trump's administration in court over immigration, healthcare, and civil rights. Boston, in particular, became a hotspot for anti-Trump demonstrations, reflecting the strong opposition across the state. With a population that values academic insight and social justice, Massachusetts remains a vocal critic of Trumpism. Number 8. Oregon. Oregon's progressive identity is especially visible in Portland, a city that gained national attention for massive protests during Trump's presidency. From clashes over police reform to strong environmental policies, Oregon consistently stood in defiance of federal direction under Trump. The state's leadership also rejected many federal immigration policies, emphasizing local control and inclusivity. Oregon's politically active citizens continue to shape the state's bold stance against divisive leadership. Number 7. Vermont. Tiny but fiercely independent, Vermont is home to Senator Bernie Sanders and a strong progressive tradition rooted in fairness and equality. The state opposed many of Trump's policies, especially those related to climate, healthcare, and income inequality. With its leaders often speaking out, Vermont residents pride themselves on community, sustainability, and social justice, values that often run counter to Trump's political style. The state's quiet strength has made it a consistent symbol of resistance. Number 6. New York. Despite being Trump's birthplace, New York has become one of the strongest centers of opposition to him, both politically and legally. The state's attorney general launched multiple investigations into Trump's businesses, showing zero tolerance for corruption. Cities like New York City saw frequent marches and rallies against Trump's immigration bans, racial rhetoric, and climate inaction. The cultural, political, and legal establishment in New York has made it a frontline in pushing back against Trump's influence on national policies. Number 5. California. As the most populous and arguably most influential blue state, California often led the charge in resisting Trump's agenda on multiple fronts. Whether it was climate change, immigration, or healthcare, California filed dozens of lawsuits against the federal government during Trump's term. Cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco became symbolic battlegrounds in the national debate, with citizens rallying for inclusion and equality. The state's governor and lawmakers frequently challenged Trump, setting a bold example for other states. Number 4. Illinois. Centered around the liberal stronghold of Chicago, Illinois opposed Trump through both grassroots activism and political action from state leaders. Chicago's sanctuary city status was directly at odds with Trump's immigration crackdown, leading to legal and public battles. The city saw repeated protests against his actions on racial issues, policing, and more, showing strong civil engagement. The state's government also joined multi-state lawsuits challenging federal policies, reinforcing its firm stance. Number 3. Maryland. Maryland, especially around the Washington, D.C. suburbs, is home to a politically active population and a strong Democratic base. The state frequently pushed back on Trump's healthcare rollbacks, environmental policy changes, and immigration enforcement tactics. Its proximity to the nation's capital gives it unique insight and involvement in national political movements. With a highly educated population and firm support for civil rights, Maryland became a key player in the fight against Trump's policies. Number 2, Connecticut. Connecticut, with its strong Democratic leadership and active voter base, consistently challenged Trump-era policies through legislation and legal efforts. From gun control to women's rights and healthcare access, the state was vocal and firm in its opposition. Residents often organized protests, town halls, and community meetings to hold federal actions accountable. Local lawmakers were among the first to introduce bills countering federal decisions, keeping Connecticut firmly on the front lines of resistance. Number 1, Hawaii. Hawaii may be far from the U.S. mainland, but it's right at the center of resistance when it comes to Trump and his controversial travel ban. The state was the first to file a lawsuit challenging the ban, calling it unconstitutional and discriminatory. Winning national attention, Hawaii's multicultural society, democratic dominance, and commitment to civil rights make it one of the most anti-Trump states in the country. The Aloha State's values of peace, acceptance, and diversity stand in direct contrast to Trump's political narrative. Whether it's through protests in the streets or lawsuits in courtrooms, these 10 states have shown clear resistance to Trump's policies and leadership style. Each one has its own reasons, cultural, political, or historical, but together, they reflect a significant part of America's voice that demands justice, equality, and progressive change. Do you live in one of these states? Or is your state just as passionate on the other side? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more unique global insights.